October 27th.
Yeah.
Got that one right. So we'll go and hop right in. We have two different kingdoms here to show you today. Into the Sand Kingdom here. Now this game is all about Mario exploring his environment. It's a bit of an open world. Most Mario games are all about getting from point A to point B and more goal setting, and this one's all about sort of more exploration. So I'm going to go ahead and head you guys around Toast Arena here. Now, Mario's a little bit chilly, even though it's a desert. And that's actually the Odyssey, his ship. He travels around to different worlds in his ship, the Odyssey. I'm going to go ahead and run in there just to let you guys enjoy that later. Now, this game does have a couple of motion controls. If you flick your hand out, Mario will throw his hat Cappy, who is his traveling companion. Flick him up. Oop, there you go. Flick him up, flick him down. Or my personal favorite, flick him to the side and do a bit of a hat trick. You can see the little Toast Arena town here. The little people are absolutely fantastic. I love the little themes with the skulls there. The director actually went to Mexico and was inspired by Mexico when he created this one. You can actually see that Mario here can hop into the Crazy Cap shop, which we actually had in our booth as well. And you can see there's two different flavors. There's one that's based on the regular coins that you're familiar with, and there's also one with kingdom coins, which are those purple triangles you saw earlier. This is a big city out here in New York. We should be dressed in a suit, I think, even though we're in the middle of the desert. And so you can see my coins up there. I'm using those to go ahead and change Mario into the black suit. So let me go ahead and hop up So that's Cappy there, he's talking about the Kingdom Coins. Now, Cappy is great because he can, for example, let you get to other places, interact with different elements, and of course, take down enemies as well. So a lot of the joy of the game is like, what can Cappy do? And much of the game has a bit of a collection element to it. This is actually one of the moons that Mario uses to power his good ship, the Odyssey. And so a lot of this game is about sort of finding these moons either by doing favors for different people, completing these little, not quite side quests, but certainly objectives, as well as just kind of exploring the world and seeing kind of what you can do. So I can actually shake the Joy-Con to do as well. So you can see I've got these little Goomba here.
This is what happens when a Nintendo designer goes to Mexico.
You never know what you're going to get. Alright. Now one of the coolest things that I feel that Cappy can do is something called a capture. Let's see.
Pun number one.
No, that is actually literally what it's called. It's called a capture.
Capture.
I am not responsible for that one. I'm personally very happy with it. Now, bullet bills do tend to explode, so they do have this kind of limited life there. That's also part of their charm. And I think that I'm going to just hop up here real quick because my personal favorite is platforming over here. Let's see if my skills have this.
Wow. Lots of totally new mechanics or effects.
Got the ground down, which is still what I can play Mario, she can play Cappy, and it's a really great way to, for example, not have to unplug the controllers when you've got two kids.
Oh, okay.
And you can see actually since I've got Mario in his little suit, instead of having that classic Mario look, he's actually in his little 8-bit suit this time. So depending on what Mario's wearing, the aesthetic of this kind of 8-bit platform might change as well.
How cool is that? Wow. Nice. Nicely done.
Thank you. There's another moon there. And this is where those bullet bills can come in very handy. Now one of the cool things here is actually that there is a bit of a fast travel element to this. So let's say I wanted to go back to, for example, to Serena Town, if I wanted to go back to the Sand Pillars, and I just hopped across because there's something else I want to show you, I can actually just fast travel back to a certain area. And that's great if you're, for example, traveling around trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do next? It's a small sliver of just one of the kingdoms. Mario's got quite a few. I don't believe we've announced how many, although I do particularly love the brochure.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But in terms of the actual amount of worlds, I don't believe we've announced how many kingdoms Mario goes to as of yet. But what we're seeing today is, rest assured, a very, very small sliver of it. Although that would be pretty awesome. To be perfectly honest, I've played probably hours of this world, and I still find something new. And even at E3, where you're, averaging quite a few people per hour, they're still finding new ways to access areas that I didn't even know you could access.
It seems like an incredibly rich game.
The amount of detail in it is personally somewhat astounding. You can definitely tell that there was a lot of love put into this game. And Mario can, for example, do his patent wall jump, for example.
Wow. It's a little bit like getting from Times Square to Fifth Avenue, I found today.
And this one I'll actually launch with some amiibo as well, I believe. I don't know if we've announced the functionality yet, but he didn't announce this. Maybe that was Metroid. So this is the Jaxi. Now the Jaxi is great because they're great to sort of hop on and ride, but they do go rather quickly, so we're going to want to use that brake with a little bit more than you might think. So if you're, for example, a big Mario Kart player, you might appreciate this. So on we go.
So what's he called?
He's called a Jaxi. J-A-X-I.
Jaxi.
Only way to travel. Unless you're on the Odyssey.
Oh, wow. Wow. Do you sink in that surface if you slow down?
You don't slow down. Jaxi doesn't know how to slow down.
He's just fast.
I think I'm going to leave that to let people decide what they want on the back end there, and head back in here. Because there's so much more to do here. Everything else the rating doesn't good. But it's probably safe to assume.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, this is Pauline. I don't know if you're a big Donkey Kong fan, but Pauline was actually one of the characters in Donkey Kong, and she is now the mayor of New Donk City. So we're going to head down to New Donk City here. Before we do, though, I think that Mario needs a little clothing change here. So since we're exploring the concrete jungle, why not go as an explorer? So we'll head out in this explorer outfit. First, here's those other shaped canyon coins we discussed earlier. And sometimes you just have to be sneaky about where these moons are hiding.
Great sounds.
Wait until you see.
Whoa.
And into the city here. So we're going to go ahead and hop a cab if we need to. Or just hang out. You can always, go jump roping. My record is under environment. Leave Cappy's in hill. And you can see that even when Mario is in his outfit, that is still Cappy. So Cappy is always that cap. Now a lot of these little areas have sort of a puzzle-like feature to them.
Wow.
Now there's a new fragment. Oop. Let's not do that.
Cool.
See what she would like. Now I don't have to do the request that she has. I can just sort of ignore her and go around town, which is probably what I'm going to do anyway. This might get a little hazardous.
Wow.
That
So
is Super Mario Odyssey coming out October 27th. We saw very small slices of two kingdoms.
Super Mario Odyssey coming out in October, right before Thanksgiving.